Hey guys, welcome back to What a Bother. I'm Tam.
And I'm Nick.
And this is a show where we talk about what bothers us, but more importantly, what bothers you guys at home. So please write in. We've got the email coming up on the screen now, in the description also. Instagram's in the description.
That's it.
Just contact us, YouTube comments, keep the fuel for the fire, keeps us going,
Subscribe.
keeps you going. Or subscribe. We've looked at the analytics, about half of you that watch our videos aren't subscribed, so
That's bizarre, Tam.
fucking smash the subscribe button, click the bell, ring the bells of Gondor. Yeah, so this is just like a general PSA of basically like, do more,
Yeah.
like we're really doing it right now. We're being consistent. You're being bad. Do more for us, essentially. Is that
more.
good? Is
Like
it
that.
too much?
No.
Okay, sounds good. See you in a second. Dude, TikTok, right? I know we complain about it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
There's so much to say, though.
There's so much to
dude.
say. There's just one thing I think, if I could choose one, I guess, meme or one trend to like delete is the soundbite or the song, the one where it's like something bad's just about to happen and it goes, oh no, oh no,
yeah.
oh
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that was like funny, that like the first one, and dude, that soundbite just drives me up the wall
know.
now. It's so unfunny. And then also it goes back to our thing where people, so I'm just fucking firing all cylinders already off this one, but like
Love it.
the one where, like what we talked about before, where it's like, okay, the first one did it, like it was kind of funny because it was like, their pet or something like fell off a fucking cupboard or something. It's like, oh, that's quite funny. And then the ones that happen now where it's just like something slightly annoying or mundane out of the ordinary happens, and it's just like adds that soundbite because that's the trend, and it just doesn't fit what you're doing at all. But there's something about that soundbite in particular that's just it annoys me so much.
It's so true. It's like the original one, super creative. Whoever came up with it, hey, you're a really creative person, right?
You've got the eye.
Yeah, you know what's going on, and probably it would totally work if you're filming your cat crawling along like a narrow little on top of the cupboards, and he's losing balance, and then he suddenly knocks all the food off the counter, and all the food that you just prepped for dinner has gone all over the floor. Totally. Oh no.
Yeah.
I would be like, that's funny, but not now. Brands are trying to integrate those trends into marketing, and they're like, and they'll just get something that is like you say, like so kind of annoying, like it's barely a bother, and they'll just try and use
they'll
it.
try and make it relate to their thing, so it'll be like, when you're at the checkout on the it'll be like honey.com, and it's like, oh, when you're at the checkout and you forgot that you could like save money. Oh no. It's like, fucking shut up.
I mean, even when influencers do it now, because they're hungry for like, they need content, so I don't have any in mind, but just any influencer would just try and find any situation where they can use it, and it's like, cool, man, like everyone's doing that.
It's not having the eye of being like, oh, this video would work well with this. It's being like, oh, this soundbite is trending, let me come up with something to use it in. And when you do that, it's never it always flops, and it's never creative. But there is something about just that, I don't know why, but that soundbite just drives me up the wall in particular, out of all the ones, to be honest. It's super annoying. I mean, that's just TikTok all over, though. We could have like a segment where it's like social media room 101, like room 101 is normally isn't that like where you put stuff that basically gets deleted from the world, basically. So that would be probably my
100%
my one.
There are too many on TikTok. It's not even, TikTok has so many in there. What about that one where it's like the music is just bizarre, and the only reason people are using it is because everyone else is using it. Otherwise, if everyone had actually some sense about them, they'd just change the song but still do the same trend, which is where that filter which the line comes down and then pauses.
Great filter.
Great
Genius.
filter, but it's
person who created the filter, very smart.
So creative. But the piece of music is that, and then it goes waiting in the light, I'm putting down. Like
Yeah.
it goes to like a weird 80s song, but it goes
Doesn't make sense.
waiting for the time. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
It just doesn't match the content that you're making.
Not at all. Yeah, that's where literally someone. This is the problem. TikTok is making everyone feel like they're filmmakers, and they think, oh, I can edit, and I'm a filmmaker now. I can edit because I do TikTok, and they think putting any music over the top of any film is genius.
But the people consuming that content also don't know what the fuck's
They also
going
think it's
on.
genius
So
because
they also think it's genius.
they're part of it too. I don't
like. It's really hard to not like come across elitist, but it is literally like they're getting that endorphin rush. You know, when you match something to like music that like most people kind of figure out quite early on in their just life or career or whatever when it comes to like making that kind of content. And it's just like, it's so funny watching like 30-year-olds, but then also like young kids, but like just figuring that out. It's just like, but then you've got it so wrong as well. I mean, we might have to find it in post, but probably won't be able to find it. But there's one as well of like, I know we talk about those all the time with timing, you know, like cutting to the beat, which is where, you know, you're cutting a shot in time with music. And there are some that think that so there's one we watched where it was like some person was in London
showing off,
and they were showing off all the different autumn. Well, it's like it was attractions in autumn basically, and then basically every time they were meant to click, it was meant to cut the video.
You click on the beat,
but it was like it was off by like half, as in like they click and then half a beat, a bar would go by, and then
it changes.
And we're not even talking like they missed it by maybe a milliseconds because maybe the editing software they were using wasn't super accurate. It was like you
have no idea what you're doing.
You've seen this type of content before and just think that the idea is that you're clicking and the scenes are changing, not understanding that it's more visually interesting when it changes on the beat. It's
like it's a form of magic. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create some form of illusion, some magic. But no, you click, cut, cut. It's just so bad.
What are you doing?
I don't know if it's like even easily understandable what we're talking about, but it's just such a bother, man. I don't know why it bothers us so much. You know what I was thinking? Obviously, I had iMovie on my iPhone back in like 2012, right? 2011. So I was doing this ages ago, way before video could be put up on social media. And I think I got it out of my system at an early age of like making all that stuff. And then now I don't have that desire to do what all these people on TikTok are doing. And I don't know if, like, is that a bad thing? I kind of wish I had that cluelessness that people have, to where I'm just like, this is cool. Because like guess what? They're all fucking huge, making loads of money on TikTok.
Yeah, because I feel like you're more inclined to just produce stuff when you just haven't got a clue and you're just figuring stuff out. Whereas maybe it's a bit of a curse to kind of have an eye for things.
Because you're a perfectionist. Yeah, you're like, I don't want us to look shit.
That's my biggest weakness, being a perfectionist.
Me too, man.
Welcome back to 0 Degrees Pod.
Yes, where we both wear parkas and coats.
For fun.
Arsenal till I die. Oh, Arsenal till I die.
Yeah, until you die. You don't think between
bubbles, pretty bubbles in the sky. Arsenal.
I think that's not the Arsenal song, man.
It's whatever. I think
it's West Ham, isn't it?
Anyway, what about the weather? That is West Ham. Have you ever watched Green Street?
No.
You should watch Green Street. It's not like the most incredible film, but it's about.
I watched Green Mile.
Very different films.
No, Green Street is the
football hooligan film.
It's Green Machine, isn't it?
Green Street, Mean Machine.
Mean Machine, yeah.
It's like Green Machine. It's like the Incredible Hulk spin-off.
Bruce Banner wants to become a professional. He wants to play in the Premier League.
Don't make me angry. He didn't go all the time because get angry.
Yeah. So we need to get angry. It's like, I'm trying not to get angry.
They're down 5-0. Get angry. He just blocks the goal.
Kind of a great concept.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Anyway, what were we talking about? TikTok. Yeah. Anyway,
so what's how are you, man? Like, what's going on in your world at the moment?
You know what? It's COVID, and it's bizarre to be alive right now.
It is weird.
Think back to a year ago today.
It's been a weird year.
Think back to a year ago.
Yeah.
Life was just normal.
It was.
Yeah.
It's been a very, very odd year, and I wonder how long it will continue to be this way.
I know. Something that I wanted to talk about was a bit of a bother, and that is you know, you and I will have a Nando's, and you know, we would get a medium, right? Spice level medium, not too hot, not too mild.
Yeah, I'd venture into the hot though.
You go hot,
yeah.
But the last time we had one, the medium made my nose run and made my eyes go a little bit funny. I was like, medium? What the fuck? This is like extra hot. And even you were like, yeah, this is hotter than a medium, because you went medium with me for some reason.
Sometimes, so I do normally like to get hot, especially when I used to eat chicken, which I don't anymore. But when I used to get like a half chicken, I would get hot. But with the wraps, they put in chili jam as well. And also with the wraps, so I actually used to work in Nando's. I used to be a griller many a moon ago.
How can you be a gorilla at Nando's?
Stupid
idiot.
And I was a gorilla.
Yeah.
And I would gorilla the food.
That's cool. You were a chef.
Technically, yeah. Although it was quite by the numbers, I'd have to say. Paint by numbers, I should say. But a lot of times when you're grilling the chicken, a lot of the like the way you're meant to cook it is the sauce that you put on caramelizes a bit, right? So it's still juicy, but you're not just eating like just the straight up sauce, right? But then you're going to some Nando's where they may be in a rush, or maybe just the cooks aren't that experienced, and they'll slather on the sauce, fry it for like literally 5 seconds, and then take it off.
Yeah.
And that's when it's so saucy, and that's normally when it's hotter because you're just eating the direct hot sauce as opposed to when it's been cooked off a little bit, right? Same thing happens with the wraps, because it's cooked on a different grill. It's cooked on a flat grill, the wraps, right? So they put the sauce on the grill, and it just means that, again, basically the busier it is, because all the chicken, when it actually goes onto the grill, it's already cooked essentially. Right. So all you're doing it when you put it on the grill, you're just giving it that grill kind of flavor and also heating it up properly again, right? But normally it's all kept in hot drawers before. And then so what happens is you put the wrap, for example, you put the chicken breast or you put the imposter meat or whatever onto the grill, slather on the sauce, and then it might just be taken off quickly and then put into the wrap, and then when it's in the wrap, it then just accumulates all of the sauce, right? And then that on top of the chili jam they add in, it just then becomes a lot more intense heat than the intended purpose of the wrap.
Becomes a furnace.
So that's why that is the 5-minute version of sometimes why I order medium instead of hot. Right. Because sometimes when you do hot with the chili jam, and then the fact that the sauce is not cooked off properly, it's just like, oh, I'm just scalding my mouth now for no reason.
But this is my point, is spicy foods. You're a fan of spicy foods.
Thanks for my 5-minute tangent. Yep, spicy foods.
You're a fucking no, but you're a fan of it.
Yeah, I do like
don't
a bit
mind
of spice.
that.
Yeah,
dude, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's not for you to get. It's fine.
No, but like, oh, cool. I'm gonna have this chicken, this grilled chicken with fire, in my mouth, and it's like, oh no, it's just nice to have that, that flavor of spice. It's not a flavor. It's burn. That's what it is. It's burn in your mouth.
I do get what you mean, and I also used to share that opinion. I do think though, the more spicy food you eat, the more you can tell the difference in flavor of the different spice, because not all spices are the same.
Your tolerance helps you. Basically.
Different like chilies have different flavors. And Nando's, for example, is, peri peri heat, and you can taste that kind of peri peri flavor. Whereas if you get like a spicy, Asian noodle dish, that's going to have maybe a different level of like taste of spice. I don't know. I do get what you mean though, but I think there's a limit. I think there are some people that eat like, habanero peppers with their dishes, and that's when it is a bit like, no, that's just uncomfortable. But
there's when people sweat from having, it's like, oh, I got the Vindaloo. It's like, dude, what are you doing to yourself? Why? There's no flavour in it, man. There's no flavour.
Sometimes also it's quite exciting, I think, is another reason, where it's like you're enjoying the food, but then it's an experience where it's like,
okay,
you do get like a little bit of an endorphin rush when you're like eating really spicy food, and sometimes that can just be quite fun, where it's like, man, this is really hot, but I quite enjoy, like almost like thrill seeking, where it's like, when you're flying through the air in a paraglider.
Christ.
It's like, what? I'm not comparing. I'm not comparing those two things.
Spicy foods.
But you know, your brain is also telling you like, hey, this is not a good idea. Like we shouldn't be flying through the sky right now. But that's part of the excitement, right?
Oh fucking hell! I mean, it's just for me. It's like cool now. So my first bite is just burning fire, and that's just all I'm tasting for the rest of the meal.
Again, I think that comes back to tolerance though, because I do agree with you, and I think there is an upper limit where it's like this is not enjoyable anymore. But I just think that your upper limit you could push a little bit further and get more, open up the ranges a bit more of flavors.
Like take a look at Hot Ones, right? As the show starts, the hot sauce that's put on the chicken wings is like bearable, right? And the contestants are always like, that's quite nice. Is that lemon? Yeah, nice. I like it. And then as they get to the later rounds, it's like everyone's sweating, crying.
I mean, that's intentionally meant to be.
Yeah,
like,
it is
terrible.
But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a flavor which is just burning in your mouth, which depending on the level and the degree of how spicy you want it. But eventually, if you kept pushing it, it would just set your mouth on fire. That's what we're dealing with. I just don't. I
mean, I think it's two sides, but I think there
you
is.
You love it. You just, and you know what it is? It's just like drinking beer. You just want to. It's just like guys when they're like, yeah, I like beer. Don't like beer, but they just want to be manly. You just want to be manly and like, yeah, I like spice. I like spice.
Yeah,
whereas I'm just fucking. I'm so secure.
You're a real man. Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't.
You're
like
comfortable with your
masculinity.
Spiciality.
Yeah. Anyway,
no, I think there is some flavour to be had in spicy food.
I know what you mean. I used to go lemon and herb at Nando's. You made me go medium. I'm going. I think medium is my
minimum. I'll go hot or extra hot sometimes.
So this is what I'm talking about. But there's still flavour in lemon and herb and mango.
And there's still flavour in hot.
But there isn't.
Yeah, there is.
It's called fire.
No, medium and hot tastes different.
It's acid. Yeah, it's just different levels of acid. How many drops of acid?
I feel like we're not going to see eye to eye on this.
I don't know. I get what you're saying. I kind of get like it's got a bit of spice to it, but nothing more than me going. It's exciting. Nothing more than me going. Oh, can I get some milk, please? I'm dying. That's just
on a date with a girl.
Yeah, never do that.
Can I get some milk, please?
Oh God, please, give me some milk.
That's funny.
Yogurt.
Apparently,
you know how they say
plant-based milks are like really, really good for it.
Really?
Apparently, actual milk is like good, but because of some of the more awful ingredients that is actually in milk basically are not so good for it.
Gross.
Whereas like plant-based milk apparently is really good for spicy food.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know how people, and I get it. Like I think it's true when they say water doesn't help. But let me tell you, when they're like, oh, don't drink water, it won't do anything. If you just hold water in your mouth, like a nice cold water, it does the job. All right?
Sometimes the temporary fix helps until it dies down.
So everyone who's like, no, water doesn't do anything. It does if you just keep it in your mouth, all right? So just bear that in mind. But also it just
does. Water does help.
It does help, yeah.
It's better than breathing the air at the time, basically.
Yes, for sure.
When you eat really spicy food.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I find like, I feel like it really shouldn't help, but sometimes drinking like soda, like Coke or something, when I've been eating spicy food actually does somewhat help.
Yeah. Anywho,
and anywhere.
We're in London.
We are.
Yeah. Soon to move over to LA, aren't we?
Yeah.
With the podcast network that's picking us up.
Yep. We're obviously just trying to like settle the accommodation at the moment, trying to sort out the mortgage.
Yep.
It's going to be an interesting one for sure. I'm not actually legally allowed to go to America, so it'll be kind of like
Why is that?
Like a sneak in job, huh?
Why is that?
They just don't like my people very much. Yeah.
What, Egyptians?
Well, basically, just before Trump got kicked out, lost his administration, he passed a law where basically he just he said, I'm extending the wall to like a 360 situation around America now. So like, I was planning on going by boat, but I just don't think that's going to be. I think that's going to be quite difficult now.
It's crazy that I'm going to have to just do this solo.
Yeah. Well, you said you'd help sneak me in.
Dude, I'm not going to do any. Going to America, sneaking you into like, literally, dude. If you show up to America just for a holiday, you get interrogated as it is. Imagine me trying to smuggle you in my fucking suitcase.
Have you been interrogated like at border control before?
Well, it feels like it every time.
Yeah.
The first
So
time
weird. They always ask you questions in it to see like how nervous you are.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, oh, what you doing here? What's your favorite color? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. And I guess they're just trying to just see if you're like nervous or something.
Yeah, it was.
But
what I said.
Oh, was it? Oh. I've had it where the first time I arrived in America, well done.
Absolute mess.
Well done. First time I arrived in America, the guy said, is he with you? I was with my stepdad. Well, not my actual stepdad, but I say he's my stepdad. And he went, I was next in line, and he was talking to Spen, my stepdad, and he went, is he with you? Pointing to me, and Spen was like, yeah. He was like, well, get him over here. He was like, whoa, calm down.
Yeah.
So I came over. He's
so
like,
aggressive.
what are you doing here? I was like, just on holiday. Yeah.
I probably thought like you were like Eastern European or something, and they were like, no, we don't want you guys here.
Yeah, well,
and I heard your English accent, and we're like, oh, actually, you guys are pretty cool.
The guy was just like, and then when he was sort of like done, after we just basically just answered everything fine, and kind of, he was like, if he's your son, why isn't he with you right now? It was like, he's my stepdad. He's not actually my dad. He was like, all right, go. Like just I don't know, abusing his authority. I think
it's because it's one of the few jobs where it's like there's no expectation of customer service. You are there for a reason that is, you're not there to please people. You're there to do a job. That's kind of like the GOAT job, to be honest, where you just don't have to give a shit about pleasing people. Where it's just like, oh, I'm here because I'm, protecting the country. I don't have to be nice to you.
True. And
then you can just be yourself, which is in most people's cases, just being a bit of a dick.
Dick, yeah. I do always get nervous arriving in the States.
Me too.
Just because.
Well, just in general, when I go anywhere.
I mean, I should feel fine, but like, I go there as soon as you land. You're walking through security. Everyone's got guns around their hips, and it's like, oh god, like I don't know. Am I just gonna?
It is intimidating. It's like I haven't done anything wrong, but like you're still a bit nervous.
Literally the same logic when a policeman walks by you. You're like, shit, what am I doing? What? You just feel guilty, like instantly.
Honestly, dude, driving, and when a police car pulls up behind you, I don't know why, but I'm just like, oh shit.
I'm done in.
Even though I haven't done anything, it's just like, and I've got to drive really fucking good now. But it's like it's been so long since like I've done my test. It's like, I can't really remember what am I meant to be driving like. Like I mean, I drive well, but in terms of following the right procedures. But then I remember that they've got so much shit to deal with. The last thing they care about is like who's driving. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think they check your plates automatically now anyway. I don't think that's like a manual thing. No. So the scanner will just, like, if they pull out in front of a car, just do an automatic scan.
Mm-hmm. I was in Central yesterday, and obviously during COVID, and ghost town, but police walking around.
They're making sure that people aren't breaking the rules.
Like out in groups, basically. Yeah. And but
Gestapo.
One guy, I saw a police car pull up outside a restaurant, like a Southern Fried Chicken place, which for some reason was still, I guess, restaurants are still open. And this guy jumps out in like a hoodie with a bulletproof vest on. And to be fair, I guess Central London was armed. Super intimidating. He's like, fucking hell, I don't want to be doing anything wrong. Just even looking at him in the wrong way. Goes and orders a fucking chicken burger. And then I see him run out, get in the car. And it's just like, whoa, like what did they get called for which warranted that? Like that was like a terrorist.
Was he in a rush on the way into the chicken shop?
No,
as
he
well?
wasn't. He wasn't.
I thought you were saying like they were on a call and they needed to still go and pick up a chicken sandwich.
I'm hungry though. All right, quick pit stop.
Quick. I'm sure the robbers can wait. I mean, in terms of my own experiences with airports and stuff is because I'm brown, I get the extra level of interrogation, which is always quite fun. And it's just like, it's one of those things where...
Fuck, I've never thought about that.
It's what we talked about, last time about the, in work professionalism that's just not needed. And it's kind of similar to that, where it's like, I'm with a border control person and it's just like, like, I know that you're putting me aside because I'm brown, and then you know that you're also putting me aside because I'm brown, but none of us are saying it to each other. And I know that, like, it's not always like that, and I know that I am generalizing, and it's not everyone is like that, but I do find that a lot of times it's a little bit stricter, and just after 9/11, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Should it be that way? No. Is it? Yes. Is it fine? Yes, because I'm innocent. So it is what it is. I'm really not. I don't really get offended by that stuff because I'm like, well, I haven't done anything wrong. So people that get offended, I just don't. I understand why people get offended at it, but it's just, it doesn't matter.
I guess if it's like super hostile treatment, that's when
that's when it matters. Yeah. Or it's just like you're late for your flight already, and it's just like, cool, I got to deal with extra bullshit now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Crazy things, man.
Crazy things. As well as us moaning all the time, we do like to have fun, but we also do like to hear from you guys. So again, the email's on the screen. We do have you guys have been great at writing in, so thank you so much for that. Also in the YouTube comments has been great. On our Instagram has been great. You guys have just been smashing it. Thank you so much. We've got a bother here from a girl.
Cool. Always fun.
Someone needs our help. It's a girl that goes to uni.
Okay.
And they had a sinus infection. What do you want to call that person?
University sinus problem. I don't know any famous students who have sinus problems.
You don't? No, that's weird. I know loads.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why don't we call her Millie? Because it just came to my head.
Okay, Millie. Sounds good. Millie Bobby Green Bogies.
Nice.
Fucking so proud of myself for that one.
Yeah.
Hi guys. I desperately need your advice. I'm pretty sure I've committed social suicide. This happened in one of my seminar lectures just before lockdown. I had quite a bad sinus infection one week. Not COVID, and I decided to take some strong menthol sweets in with me to help me breathe.
Sweet.
That was an interesting lecture. I sat in the front next to a friend. It was all going swimmingly until it wasn't. The cough sweet suddenly decided to go on an adventure down my throat, choking me in the process. I sat there, cough sweet in throat, realising the type of conversation the coroner would have to have with my family. Death by Lozenge. We've got some such poetic fans. I love it.
By Lozenge.
I instinctively.
That sounds like a band.
Death by Lozenge.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
And this is our new single, Cough Syrup. I instinctively started to cough, still trying to look like I was paying attention to the interesting facts about amygdala.
You can do it. Yeah.
Amygdala.
Sounds good.
I never actually had to say that word out loud before. It was then the sweet dislodged with a dramatic sound effect and flew across the room to the front of the smartboard.
Oh, no.
That was when everyone looked at me, including my lecturer. The silence of the room was deafening, and the only thing I could focus on was the cough sweet sitting at the front of the room. I kind of laughed and said, "I'm sorry, I choked," and did the walk of shame to collect the sweet of death. We carried on with the lecture, but I fear I'll never be able to look my lecturer in the face again. What do I do?
Never look the lecturer in the face again.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I just like the image of that.
A lot.
Fires.
Why is that? Something that would only happen in a film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It happens in like an American Pie movie for sure.
Yeah. What's going on with Luke? Lands in the girl's hair that he likes.
Ew, Mark.
Yeah.
God, I blew it. I blew my chances with Sarah.
Yeah, she's not gonna blow you later. That's for sure. Oh man, I don't know. What do you do? Do you walk in the room the next day with a lozenge in your mouth and go in front of everyone and do it again, and then go, "It's me, the lozenge girl," and just break the ice there and then?
Worst idea.
And just
do it again to be like, no, this is just something that I do. Like, that wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
Like, this is my party trick.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you stop?
Yeah. Just go
I think
in.
the best part for me is the fact that you went and like to pick it up. That's like that. That must have been so embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Like, I would have probably just left it for a while, but then you can't also leave it, so I don't know.
You know, I feel like in that situation, I would have just burst out laughing and been like, I'm so sorry. Like, I am so sorry. I just would have been laughing the whole time, and I would have hopefully got other people to laugh around the room with me. Like, come on, Jesus, that was crazy, wasn't it?
Laugh just for embarrassment almost.
Sir, do you want it? It's nearest you if you fancy having it. I make a joke out of it, but obviously that time is gone.
He suspends you.
Yeah, get out of the class now.
Get out.
God, what? I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like, I mean, this stuff happened all the time when we were in school. Like, you couldn't have chewing gum or like sweets and stuff in school, right? Mm-hmm. Was that the same when he was, I imagine?
Yeah.
But like kids always would sneak it in. And do you ever remember like underneath the desks in school that was just full of gum?
Yes.
Oh, that's just the worst.
Awful.
I remember there was one teacher that used to give detention, and their punishment was you had to clean the chewing gum off the tables.
Why is that such a generic punishment? That's like in every...
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
That is like a super like...
Yeah.
Can't believe we've been made
Gross,
to do this. Though. Yeah, it's so gross.
But also, it's just that's not my fucking gum. Why am I cleaning this up?
How many detentions did you have?
I had a fair few.
Did you?
But I wasn't like, I know I wasn't like in it all the time. But I had a few for like maybe like not doing homework or.
Count it on your hands or more than that?
Oh, definitely more than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was a bit of a naughty boy.
Yeah.
But it was mainly just because a lot of times I couldn't shut the fuck up, or
I didn't have that.
Most of the time, just not doing homework. I didn't really agree with the whole concept of homework. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
And I was kind of one of those people that was like, the rules don't really apply to me, so I'm just not going to do it. You know.
Cool.
Didn't really figure out that ethic of like doing things that you didn't want to do at that time.
You're a bad boy.
Yeah, I'm a bad boy.
Do you know how many I had?
How many?
1.
Oh, you.
Technically,
I'm not surprised.
Technically, almost 0, but it was a group detention.
Oh, so 0 then?
Well, I'd still just street cred wise. I count it as 1.
Street cred wise. Either you were such a dork, or your school was just really lax, or both.
I'd say I was a jock, for sure. I mean, stature of a jock? No. Athletic ability of a jock, 100%. No, but I would. That. But I was a good kid. Like, I would never talk back to teachers, even if I hadn't done the homework, which I feel like I most of the time did. I'm sorry, so I was just a sweetheart. Like, Nick.
Do you ever do the one of like looking for your homework and it's just like, I can't find it?
Maybe.
I remember doing that.
I feel like
quite a few times, which is also, looking back on it, is like so stupid. Like, obviously you didn't do the work.
Yeah.
What do you mean you lost it? Yeah. What are you talking about?
I tell you what, I could have had a detention and I got out of it, right? This one time, similar thing to the lozenge in the throat. There was a staple on my desk, a loose staple that was kind of stuck in the wood of the desk, and I just thought that flicking it would be fun. Like, didn't think what's going to happen when you flick it and flies in the room. landed in the hair of a girl 2 rows in front of me.
Teacher. Hit the teacher in the eye.
Who was that? It landed in some girl's hair she was the biggest grass. Just such a brown nose girl.
Those
flicked it, landed in the hair. So it was like a science lab. So it was like, do you ever have Bunsen burners?
Yeah.
So it was like rows of like 4, right? It wasn't like I don't know how a typical classroom was. Anyway, flicked it, landed in the girl's hair. Instead of, this is what I would have done. Oh, what the fuck? Who did that? You fucking bastard. Cool. Done. She went, what the fuck? Miss, a staple just landed in my hair. And she went, right, who was it? I'm not going to fucking... me? Petrified. I'm like... fucking shaking.
It's so funny because you weren't even trying to. You were such a dork that you weren't even trying to.
No, I wasn't even trying to. I wish I had.
Be naughty.
No, I flicked it just hoping it would fly in front of me a little bit and fly like, ooh, cool, because I was so bored in I think it was chemistry.
To be honest, fuck that girl though. Those types of kids in school were the worst. That girl is the type of girl that now at our age is selling like fucking essential oils on Facebook to her friends and stuff. Honestly, I'm 100%.
I know she was so annoying. She's a bit of a chav as well.
She's
didn't
part
make
of
any
like
sense.
a multi-layer. What was it, like an MLM program? Basically, like pyramid scheme.
Yeah, for sure.
To do with like tea that like makes you fucking more energetic. Or something.
Which should be illegal in most countries.
Yeah.
Who did it? And everyone turned around because it was from behind her. So the first 3 rows were fine, but the last 2, the culprit was within the last 2 benches. And I was never going to put my hand up. I was like, it just wasn't. Hey, like I didn't mean to do it. So I was petrified. Anyway, there's this guy next to me who's like notorious for being a bit of a rascal, and everyone was like, Tom, it's you. And he was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't. Miss, I swear, it wasn't me. Tom, it was you, wasn't it? I swear it wasn't me. All right, then who was it? No one put their hand up. She went, all right then, well, I'm going to tell your form tutor, and we'll see. We'll go from there. Second registration, afternoon registration. Goes to there. Right, guys, someone flicked a staple in blah blah blah's hair. Who was it? No one owned up. All right, well, this is going to carry on over till Monday because it was on a Friday, and we're going to keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting until someone owns up. And until then, everyone's and if no one comes clean on Monday, everyone's having a detention. And I was like, fuck me. Like genuinely petrified.
You're a piece of shit.
I was petrified. You know what I did?
What did you do?
I didn't come in on Monday. I fucking faked it.
Oh my god!
I fucking.
You're a piece of shit.
And I faked it, and I was on Xbox Live that night, and I was like, Josh, what happened with the staple thing? He was like, they forgot about it. Nothing happened.
In your mind, that was the most tense weekend of your life.
Dude,
you're like,
I couldn't enjoy it.
You were planning it. You like couldn't enjoy the weekend. You're planning how you were gonna fake being sick on Monday. That's so. To be honest, I feel like you served your punishment.
Yeah,
then.
I did.
The stress equaled probably the detention anyway that you had. As a kid. That's so funny though.
But it was it wasn't intentional. So yeah, man. Like
also, just like it's weird to think back about the things that were a big deal when you were younger, like flicking it, like. Oh, so you're going to keep like 30 children like over into their spare time because a staple flew through the air periodically. Yeah. That was such a big deal. And you had to, also you could tell that teachers sometimes would just get like stressed or get caught up on the principle of things, where it's like the fact that it wasn't so much probably the staple, it was the fact that nobody was owning up to it, and they didn't like that. They didn't like the dishonesty. And I was like, we're going to teach some kids some honesty right now. So hey, fucking shut up.
It sounds like you didn't have this problem, but maybe you did to a certain degree. But can you remember thinking, maybe not just teachers, but adults, can you remember the age you were when you just thought adults were always right?
Yeah.
Like then they can't be wrong. So like you would never want to argue against a teacher or an adult because they know best. But then as I've become an adult and I'm surrounded by adults my age, I'm like, oh, we're all fucking morons.
Yeah, it's mental to think that like they just didn't like us now. They just didn't know what the fuck was going on half the time.
Never know what's going on.
It's weird that we idolize them so much. But just to help this person.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how.
I don't know what you can do.
I feel like you just own it.
Live in shame.
To be honest, I feel like you own it, and you.
Kind of similar to what you said earlier. Maybe just like bring in a pack of lozenges like next, and just hand them out to people just as a joke. You know, so you're kind of owning it. It's like, hey, lozenge anyone?
I like that. Yeah, and then I'm the lozenge girl that fucking hocked up a lozzie all the way across the room. Hey, do you want a competition so you can shoot one the furthest?
All right, calm down.
You'll get a league going.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway,
wears a shirt that says "I'm the lozenge girl." It's like, you don't have to own it that hard.
Booming business suddenly.
Oh my god. Becomes like a social media star.
Yeah.
I'm the girl that stood up to the teacher about my lozenge issue.
Yeah. Just own it.
I'd probably
just think own it.
Own it. Yeah. Gotta own these things.
That is if you're gonna do anything, just own it. Yeah. Disown it.
Buy it. Use it. Twist it.
Abuse it. Technologic.
Cool, guys. That was What a Bother. Once again, email up on the screen, write in the YouTube comments. Super appreciate all that stuff. And subscribe if possible. And share with your friends, you know, if there's like a funny bit or just a bit that you enjoyed, you could just send the timestamp. You don't have to send the whole thing. That also helps us out a lot as well. But that's enough begging for one night. So we will
see you next Thursday.
Sayonara. Look after each other.
Peace, baby.
Peace, baby.